a second, guys. One second.
What up?
We've got to give a shout out to South Nashville Heating and Cooling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Friend and supporter, show and proof. Also, the longest running sponsor of I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast.
Absolutely. Look, man, South Nashville Heating and Cooling, where quality and craftsmanship come together. They've been doing this since 1985. That's almost 40 years of service. Expert designs, quality installations, superior service.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
What's that?
Tell me.
I feel confident in the fact that South Nashville Heating and Cooling will keep me warm in the winter.
For sure.
It'll keep me cool in the summer.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, these middle months, you'll be comfortable even then.
Absolutely, dude.
Y'all know the deal, man. South Nashville Heating and Cooling. We love those guys. Y'all see the name. Y'all see the number. Tap in.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Always.
Damn.
It's I Got Some Shit to Say, the podcast, man. We're back like we don't stop, because trust us, we never do. All we do is work. Y'all know me.
Fuck you, Squint.
That's right, R.I.P.
Whizzle fizzle.
Forever and always. Solo riding today, but I'm so excited about it because I almost have like an unfamiliar guest. It's like insane for me to talk like this, Bubba, because 95% of the people I have here, I've usually met them at least once, but not today. Today we got Slumericans' own J. Michael Phillips in the building. That guy, SMG, right?
So, absolutely. Appreciate you having me.
Bro, I'm stoked to have you, bro. Like, I reached out to J. Michael Phillips. Fun fact, here it comes. Oh, shut up, Leroy. Fun fact. I reached out like almost simultaneously as he we interacted right at the right time via social media. Shout out Instagram and shout out Alan Zilla. I hit up Zilla as soon as I saw that he was running your management, and I was like, hey, I need J. Michael Phillips on the show. And then J. Michael Phillips added me and was like, yo, bro, we need the link. I'm like, bro, let's set it up. So 3 days later, we're here.
Yeah, it was crazy how it worked out.
But that's working. I love it.
We say we're on the same frequency. That's why that happens. When you get on a certain frequency, things come to you, or you link and make things happen like this happen. It's
Facts.
Pretty dope.
And he pulled up Dolo. Shout out to that. I applaud that every time it happens, because that not a lot of individuals ride Dolo, bro. Like, that's just, let's be honest. Especially a guy in your position. Look at him. He's got real diamonds around his neck. He's a big guy, but it kind of takes a different type individual to move around solo like that, and to pull up at a place that you're unfamiliar with a person you're unfamiliar with, and have that comfortability.
Yeah,
but
man,
it's applaudable.
It wasn't sketchy or nothing when I was coming in, so it was good. But yeah, I tend to be Dolo a lot these days when I'm able to, I should say.
Yeah, but shout out Zilla. I'm sure you had some cosigns on my behalf to where you've had that comfortability.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
100%, bro. Zilla was like, hey, this is my guy. I'm excited for you to be on his podcast. And he genuinely, if he didn't fuck with you, he'd be straight up like, man, hey, just keep an eye on shit and don't go Dolo and da.
Nah, he's man, I say it every time something like this comes up. Shout out Aunt Zilla, man. He looks out for me and the show and show and prove in ways that I don't understand sometimes, but he's just a genuine guy, and that's how he moves. But yeah, J. Michael Phillips, man, he's here, and man, oh man, I've been down a rabbit hole of J. Michael Phillips for the past 48 hours that have Toledo's own, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my area, 419 Fostoria, Findlay, Toledo area.
Okay. And then currently, obviously, we're at Show and Proof Studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you reside in Nashville full-time now?
Nah, really, what I moved between Ohio, Nashville, and Florida, for real.
Oh, okay. What's that like? I have to stay here all the time.
I don't know. It's a lot of road running.
I bet. Sounds like it.
Yeah, it gets to be much sometimes, but you got to put the work in. You got to do what you got to do to make things shake. So, I do what I got to do.
So the first song I heard from you was the Wedding Ring song. It's funny because when I queued it up, I was familiar with the type of music you were currently creating based off your Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, I saw reels, clips of some upcoming singles or current singles, etc. But when I went to your YouTube, the latest release was the Wedding Ring song. I'm pretty sure about 9 months ago. Is that?
Yeah, the Diamond Ring record.
Or Diamond Ring, sorry.
Yeah, but you can call it the Wedding Ring too, because like I people paid me to come sing that at their weddings.
Oh, flex.
Shout out Scott Schultz and them
Okay.
in Toledo. But there's a few people, and people ask me all the time like how much to have you come, and I got out. I'm not doing that anymore. But the most recent record is A Lot of God. That's the one produced by Jim Johnson, and we shot the video for that. And my bad, man.
Oh, it's me.
Okay. Thought that was me. I had to put mine on silent.
Say that one more time. What's the latest single? My bad, my phone's not on airplane mode. The latest single.
So the latest single is A Lot of God, and it was produced by Jim Johnson. Crazy record, and shout out Jim Johnson, shout out Zilla for linking me with Jim Johnson, and Wolf linking me with him. Jim Johnson, 6-time Grammy winner, 40 platinum plaques,
major flex,
big dog from Miami down here in Nashville doing his thing.
Yeah.
And he showed me a lot of love, and we've got quite a few records together now. We actually got a song called Damn I Love America that isn't out yet, but we're waiting because possible Kid Rock feature will be on the record.
God.
So
yeah, that sounded insane.
Kid said to get with them this month in September.
It's September.
Hopefully we not. Yeah, that's what I said to Jim today. I text Jim like,
it's finally September.
It's September, bro. Get on his ass.
Yeah, hit up
Let's
Kid
go.
Rock, dude.
Let's go. But yeah, it's a good record, man. It's every working with Jim is just insane. I've been working with Willpower, Jim, Tasty. Shout out Tasty Beats. That's my brother.
Shout out Tasty.
Yeah,
I know,
man.
bruh. That dude's a monster.
That's my dog. We need to get him on the podcast.
Bring him over.
Yeah,
for sure.
he's
where did I first hear Tasty? Caskey. Yeah, he made a lot of records for Caskey.
That's my dog, Cassie.
Yeah, shout out Caskey.
Hurry up and knock out greatness, bro. That's
a feature he owes you or something?
He don't owe me nothing, but my brother said he's
good recovery. He don't owe me nothing. Yeah. I love that. Shout out Caskey. He owes me a visit for sure. That's one that I have yet to have over here as well.
Yeah.
But the Diamond Ring record, that was the first one that I tapped into personally, like as a normal consumer, just checking out J. Michael Phillips' catalog, right? And I saw the Ask God, or say it one more time.
Talk A Lot of God.
A Lot of God, right? Okay. But the Diamond Ring caught my eye first because, on YouTube, I was watching on my phone, and like it'll show the video and then it'll show the latest comment for each video, right? And it's funny you mentioned the Diamond Ring record and the wedding part because, and I originally called it Wedding Ring because the first comment on that video was something about, I told my wife this is going to be our wedding song or some shit. And I'm like, damn, that's a pretty bold statement. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tap in and check this out. And when I tapped in, bro, it was an interesting sound. It's it makes Slumerican sense. You know what I mean? If that means anything.
Yeah.
Like, because when I hear any sound incorporated with the Slumerican brand is a specific, distinct, unique sound. It's like there's not a lot of these things out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Does that make sense? And I think from a consumer standpoint, that's accurate. But shout out to Wolf and the way that he's built what he's built. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But when I first heard the sound that you create, it made perfect fucking sense, the association with Slumerican.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That it was crazy because that record is that's the one that got Zilla to pay attention to me. It's funny how it works out. Because at the time I had my dude Lies was supposed to he did reach out to Zilla on behalf of of me and tried to get Zilla to take a listen.
Yeah.
And Zilla just thought I was another rapper. He later told me he thought I was another rapper and never even listened. He didn't.
I could only imagine what that would be like.
Cool. I'm not interested in another rapper right now. Like, that's all good. And then so I shot a reel, and it was inside of a jewelry store.
Okay.
And I'm wearing like all these diamonds. I put all my jewelry on that I got.
Which is a lot of jewelry.
And yeah,
I've noticed.
I got a couple big chains.
You do.
And some watches and some stuff. And I threw on my trucker and a white tee and some square toes. And my boy on the jewelry store, shout out Zach up in Toledo, but he let me come in there and I recorded it, and it ended up being a dope reel that kind of went crazy. And I tagged Zilla the day that I released it. I tagged Zilla, and then I tried to go back and untag him because I thought it was kind of lame. That I was
kind of aggressive. Yeah, I get
reaching out
it.
to somebody that I don't know personally never met, and then trying to tag him in my shit, and Instagram wouldn't let me undo that for some reason, and I think that was a lot of God.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like fate at that point. You know what I mean?
Literally, like 2 days. So I called Lies, and I'm like, bro, I just tagged Zilla, and I can't even get that shit off there because I wanted you to tag Zilla in my shit, and we kind of laughed about it, and then like it was either 2 or 3 days later, Lies hit me up like, yo, Zilla just hit me up, and I said, and it was at the same exact moment that I was looking on Instagram. It just happened to be, and Zilla had gave me some fire emojis on my shit, and I was like, oh, okay, I got his attention. And then he called Lies and was like, so what y'all trying to do? And Lies was like, what are we? I said, man, we're trying to do whatever. Like, we can come to Nashville. And so he set it up for us to come to Nashville because they had a small opportunity, like a small window that they was going to be here.
Yeah.
Because they were on tour with Jelly last year.
Facts.
This is all in like September.
Okay. I was going to ask, where are we at on timeline on this?
Like August,
so this is all pretty recent.
August of last summer. Yeah, because I released my first country album, urban country album. I got to get it straight because it's not just regular country. It's like street country. So, I released my first album, Urban Cowboy, August 4th. By September, I was in Nashville with Zilla, signing a deal with Zilla's management, and then he introduced me to Wolf shortly after, and his advice to me, which I'll never forget, obviously, is just come to Wolf as let Wolf see who you are as a man.
Yeah.
As a man who you are. Don't come at him on no music shit. We're not even going to bring up the music. I think you guys will get along great. And he'll see what I see in you. And I was like, bet. So I went literally months hanging out with Wolf and being around Wolf and not even
mentioning
that I make music.
Yeah.
So by the time that he found out I made music, he was like, bro, we got to get in the studio. Where you at? Like, let's go. And he was excited about it. And we went in and we worked on some records. Like, he locked me in for like a week. We're just working with me and him in November. And we knocked out some real crazy records that I didn't know if they'd ever be released or anything. You know what I mean, I didn't know what the situation was gonna be. But long story short, I ended up signing with Slumerican in May of this year.
Okay.
And so I did all this. I didn't do it myself, but everything came about to where I ended up. It was less than 9 months before I was signed.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear that though. To see, at the beginning of the 9-month story, to say that you boldly tagged Zilla because you knew. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows Edward Crow. Like, Edward Crow can make moves. Like, he's a very plugged in individual. He associates with a lot of, some famous fucking people. You know what I mean? And to a tier of class that Edward Crow possesses, like, he is a genuine human being.
Yeah.
And a spiritual human being. Like, he's so interesting to me. And when he takes a liking to somebody, that alone, like, just kind of sets that person aside from my perspective.
Yeah.
But to hear how you like boldly reach out and tagged him in something just spontaneously, and it ultimately lead to 9 months later you being signed to Slumerican is like,
it's crazy.
That's God's work, man.
Yeah,
to your point, But wow, that's interesting, dude. And then that's a brand new thing. But we say that happened in May. So let's rewind a little bit though for the people that don't know, because like you say, how long have you been making music? When did this start?
I've been making music since I was a kid. I got pictures of my mom used to sing folk music and play guitar.
Okay,
and she still does. You know what I mean? But she used
shout
to
out moms.
Like, yeah, no, absolutely, that's my heart. She used to. So I grew up with just my moms. My dad wasn't in the picture for very much because we had moved a lot and we were like away. We actually moved out to Tacoma, Washington when I was really little for a while. And, my mother and father, they got divorced when I was 2. They got remarried twice within that short little amount of time, having me and my sister. And then my mom went out to... She had some family in Washington State, out in Tacoma, Washington. And while like, so I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. My mom was My mom was a Jehovah's Witness. I was trying to think of like how to put this together, because I really don't go that far back with people usually. But she was a Jehovah's Witness. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness as a kid. I don't have anything but good things to say about the people that I was around when I was growing up, and some of my beliefs are based in the reason that I am the way that I am is because of the way that I was raised.
Sure.
But I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person, and some people need religion and some people don't. And for me, I personally don't. But I have a relationship with God thanks to my mother. But she also instilled in me the love for music and the joy of being able to sing and present your music to other people and to feel their energy.
Yeah.
You give them your energy.
Sure.
And it's something I became addicted to at a young age, like literally like when I was in kindergarten and we were having a school choir concert. They would stop in the middle of the choir concert, have a part where me and my mom would go up on stage and sing Christopher Robin and stuff to the whole school. And it was like those experiences. And, you know, they had get-togethers, like potluck type deals with the witnesses, and she would play and sing and I would sing with her, and we got pictures of all this stuff. But
at an early age,
at a very early age.
I mean, kindergarten, we're talking 5, 6 years old. You know what I mean?
And I was doing it way before then, because her and Anissa used to be at the house just playing guitar, or be in the trailer in Fostoria, Ohio at Nine's Trailer Court, plucking out songs together, singing harmonies together and stuff like that. And it became my foundation. I didn't realize how much it would play a part in who I am today.
Yeah.
Because I kind of went left, real left.
Yeah, what's real left? Let's go.
Real left is I was in them streets.
Yeah, the streets got him. Damn it. He went from the fucking singing on church at Jehovah's Witness with his mama to fucking to the streets. The streets absorbed him, swallowed him up.
Got me.
Damn it.
And, they got me good, bro.
They got me good.
They got me.
I get it though, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, dog. I totally understand what you're saying. Keep going though. Keep going. Let's talk about way left. I want to hear about it.
I mean, it happens. It happens to people when they feel that they're deprived or held back from so many things, and a lot of it was growing up and not having a lot. You know what I mean? And I looked up to my cousins and I looked up to the dope boys,
of course,
and I seen how easy they got the bread and how much bread they would have, and how people looked up to them and respected them, and how they gifted everybody, and how it was just like, I don't know, man. They were the idols of our era. You know what I mean? And I got into rap music real heavy.
What age is this? When you got into rap music real heavy? Because obviously the streets influenced the rap music. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up in the 80s. So
shout out 80s babies.
So I was my mom, looking back, I had to like just recently I had to really go back and like look at what my mom was listening to when I was a kid that influenced me.
Yeah, what was it?
And she was listening to John Denver, Oak Ridge Boys, Carly Simon, Simon and Garfunkel, Genesis, Phil Collins, Michael Jackson, like Duran Duran.
And fast forward to your current catalog, this all makes sense too.
So as I'm growing up, I start, NWA and those are the records that started influencing me more, because I was out in Tacoma, Washington that time, and we was at the Hilltop, and the Hilltop area. If you're from Tacoma, you understand it's a very high gang influenced area. Hilltop Crips and there's Samoan Bloods all out there. There's just a lot of gang activity and drug activity, and the stuff that I was like being pulled to from being around other low income friends and stuff when I was out there. So like when I got to be about 10, 11, that's when I was more and more influenced. I was skipping school. The bus would come. I'd hide behind the trash can.
I get it.
With my boy, we'd skip. We'd go run the city for the day, because my mom, she just had to work nonstop and try to make things shake for us. And so I got influenced to the point where I was just on some gang shit. but I never was like a gang member. That's what's
You just ran with the gang.
I just ran with the gangs. Bro.
I get it,
and it was just a lifestyle that was very different from the lifestyle I had at home, but it was just the environment that we would move into. Because she'd be limited on where we could live. Either we was living with a family member, or we was living in a trailer, or in low income housing.
Yeah, I mean, single mother story. Trust me, I get
absolutely.
it. Same story, different book. You know what I mean? From skipping school at 12, 13, and then I mean, the streets got a hold of me. I never got into the gang shit, but the streets got a hold of me to where I was just in love with fast money, and I hung out with all the dope boys. I like new pair of shoes every week, and I like, you know what I mean. But that shit ultimately got me in a lot of trouble and all that. So I totally relate. I know exactly what you're saying. But the hip hop thing, like when you started recording music, when was that? Like if the hip hop started influencing you in 11, 12 years old, when did the music really become a thing?
So I went to Juvenile when I was 15 for a shooting. And growing up, I was always, I never lived anywhere more than like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Hands down. No, I don't understand. Like my lifelong friends are friends that I had lived around for a while and moved away from, end up moving back at some point to be around. So that's like the guys that if to say growing up with somebody, I never really grew up with anybody.
Yeah, just knew them when you were younger.
Right. And then we reconnected when I was back in Ohio or, in the area. And so, I got locked up. So my boy Chamo came over. I was in Findlay, and he was from Fostoria, and he was on some gang shit too. And
shout out Chamo.
Yeah, Chamo's my dog, man.
What a cool name.
And then so
Chamo. That's a cool name.
He showed up at the crib because I was living with my dad at the time because I got to be too much for my mom. My mom sent me to live with my dad when I was like 12. And so I'm 14, 15 at the time. And I'm going back and forth from my mom's in Fostoria and my dad was living in Findlay. And so Chamo showed up. And like at that point in time, like literally my brothers will attest to this, no cap. You could lift up my bed and there'd be at least 10 different guns sitting under there. I was the gun guy. I was known to I'd get them for the low, or we'd steal them.
Yeah, boost them.
We was doing whatever we had to do. But so he came to me. He's like, bro, I need a strap.
Yeah.
These dudes. So long story short, this dude who was a blood came, shot up the block, didn't shoot nobody, but just was gauging shit. And was shooting at Chamo, and so Chamo was he needed a strap. So I was like, "Fuck that! I need to go down there anyways. If we see him, I'll bust him myself." And so we had this girl. She took us down. A girl named Vicky. Shout out Vicky. And she took us down to Fostoria. And as soon as we got down there, we went by the block to where he was at, and we literally drove right by his mom's spot. And he was out front in a truck. Sitting in the truck, and all I seen was him in his truck. So me and Chamo got dropped off over by the alley, and we went in. This is like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, the night before Christmas.
Jesus.
So
golly, that's fucking bold as fuck. Bro, Christmas Eve, bro. Christmas Santa's Eve. On the way, man.
Yeah, but listen, I grew up as Joe's Witness. I never celebrated any holidays, so I didn't understand the importance of it.
That's facts.
And so
he's already said that. That's facts.
It was just another day to me. I didn't know. All I know is I was about to handle his ass. And so my so we get dropped off at the alley, and there's these so his house was on this main street, and there was a big vacant parking lot vacant lot. It had grass and stuff in it.
All right.
Right next to his house. So we go back, we hide in between these two garages in the alley, and we wait for a second because all these kids are running around his truck, which is another thing that I wasn't thinking about. Kids being traumatized by some shit. I didn't want to hit the kids, so I just wanted to wait until the kids were gone and then shoot the shit up. And so Chamo, so the kids are playing blah blah blah, and then Chamo bends down, he's tying his shoe, and he's like, hold on, I gotta tie my shoe, and he's tying his shoe, and the kids run away. And so I come out busting, bow bow bow, and I'm so fucked up mentally as a child, like thinking this shit is fucking funny,
that I
start laughing because I'm hearing the bullets ricocheting off the ground in his truck, like, ding, ding, and I'm laughing, and I heard Chamo fall down, like, oh shit, fell down, because I started shooting while he
just fell over.
Yeah, and so I emptied the clip, shot his car up, we go to dip, we get away or whatever. And come to find out, like, his girlfriend was in the car with him, which was one of my friends that I went to school with. We were in school together, a girl, and I was upset about that. I didn't mean to do that, but I couldn't say anything. They didn't know it was me.
Sure.
And so what ends up happening, long story short, they end up no, not even a long story short, real quick. My mom warned me that if she found another gun in her house, that and my dad, that if they found another gun or any bullets or anything, they were taking it to the police. And so I was at my mom's this one weekend, and I had the strap, and I had a dude that was supposed to come buy it from me.
The same strap
the
you
strap
shot,
that I used. I didn't.
Of course.
I was too greedy,
of course,
young minded to throw it away.
Yeah, fuck tossing it. That's money.
That's money. So,
I get it.
And it was only gonna be like $100, bro. And I was like, so I went, wiped it down and shit in the kitchen, and my mother, so I'm getting my hair braided by my sister, and my mom comes in, she walks in, goes to the kitchen, comes back out, and says she's going to my aunt's house, and dude shows up to get the gun. I go to look for the gun, I can't find the gun anywhere. I realized I left it on the counter, and then I realized my mom came home and left, and so I'm thinking, fuck. So I went back to get my hair braided. My mom came in and said, you know, the cops have the gun. They believe it was used in the shooting. This is small town shit.
Yeah.
Small, tiny town.
But she didn't go to your aunt. She took the gun in public.
Hell yeah, she took it. And then when she found out what happened, she was like, you know, they believe it was used in a shooting. And I was like, yeah, I did it. She about had a heart attack.
Damn.
But they took me in there. They was like, we know Chamo did the shooting. When did he give you the gun? And I told him he didn't give me the gun. I did the shooting. It was me. I did it by myself, and And I took the blunt. You know, I took out for it, and that was the start.
That sent you away for a little while.
Yeah, it sent me away for a year. But while I was locked up,
but nobody got hurt in the shooting, right? Like, no. You just shot the shit up. But honestly, you didn't know who was in the passenger side of the vehicle, ultimately giving you a little grief about doing it, etc. Yeah. Like, okay, I get it. So at least nobody was injured, but you were busting shots at motherfuckers at 15 years old.
It was dumb, bro.
Yeah.
And it could have been very bad. I could have killed somebody who I was really cool with, and I could have killed him, somebody that, you know, was just growing up just like us, you know what I mean? He didn't know no better, and you learn as you get older that life is precious. The more people that you lose and stuff, you realize the importance of life and how it's not cool to take a life.
That's a precious thing.
It is, absolutely.
But that 1 year away, what did that do for you?
That 1 year away made me even more of a dog ass fighter. I went to a penitentiary that it was a maximum juvenile penitentiary, so from ages 13 to 21. You know, you're in there with grown ass killers, and I had some homies and stuff. Like, I've always been a scrapper, bro. I've always been able to fight, and so it was but I just fought more, learned how to fight better.
Yeah,
be worse.
Just street fight shit, no like gym shit.
Yeah, no, just street fighting, just banging shit out. I wrestled, you know, through junior high and some of high school, because I ended up dropping out of high school and stuff because I was getting in too much trouble and got my GED in jail. But but while I was in there, like, I used to sing and in
juvie.
Yeah, in juvie, and linked up with some other dudes that sung, you know what I mean? Because that stuff was always cool. The female guards would always love that shit. Of course. Come just hang out at our cells and shit, because we had, like, there was some 2-man cells, but I was mainly in, like, dorm cells that have like 12 guys in them and stuff, and so it was always wreck, always something happening. Dudes from all over the state, from Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus.
God knows what kind of charges. I mean, all pretty offensive charges to be in a place like that.
Yeah, you're maxing. You got some guys that are doing juvenile life, you know what I mean? And then some of the homies that, when I went to prison later on in life, a lot of the homies that I was locked up with at Tico were the same dudes that I was with, you know, doing real life sentences in max prisons, like Mansfield closed, and Warren and stuff like that, other spots that I was at, North Central and stuff. So, but I learned how to sing in there. It got organized. There was a dude who was a parole officer that, when, like, he literally came in and visited me because I sang at some Christmas thing that they had, and it's always crazy because it's always been that I've had this smile, a nice smile that seemed like the nicest kid.
Yeah.
And I have a big heart and I'm the greatest to my friends. But if you're on that other side of me, I've always been the one to go all the way out and not care. You know what I mean? And it's a weird,
That's interesting.
it's a weird balance that
Yeah.
something snaps and I just don't care.
Yeah.
But later on I'll care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in those moments, like I've been very
You got a I don't give a fuck switch. and it
yeah,
just go-
man.
yeah.
Like
That's a dangerous switch to
it's
play
very-
with.
It's ridiculous, and so like for me to have that in there and be singing and stuff. And anyways, dude came in and he met with me and was like, man, I want to put together a group, and I think you're great, and I think you'd be a part of this group. And it was like literally 6 months before I was getting ready to get out, and I got out, got linked up with him. His name was Andre Hill, and me and my boy Lamar Isaac.
Wait, when you say your boy, were these people you got to know while you were in juvie?
Nah, my boy Ferg, my boy Lamar, rest in peace. He was my boy before then. He's been my homie. He was in my sister's grade, which was like 2 grades under me, and he was always like he looked up to me. But he vocally surpassed me within the first like 6 months. Like he had this natural gift to sing anything he heard and just like he heard it. Like
Wow.
crazy.
You said he passed away?
Yeah, he took a bad pill a couple years back. That's actually how I started making country music, is because when I lost him, I couldn't express it in a rap, because I started rapping for a long time, and I used to sing my hooks and then rap.
But the group that I want to get back to him then, because that's obviously a pivotal moment in your career. But at the same time, currently we're at the guy says, when you get out, I want to put together a little group. You got with some of your homies, you're putting together this group. Now, it was a vocal group just straight through, or were there any hip hop?
They called it Composure.
Okay.
And it was, it was popping. Well, this is the 90s.
Yeah, and you're 16-ish,
late
right in there,
90s,
right?
yeah,
16,
yeah.
17 by then.
Yep. So it's like Isaac Riley, me, and Xavier Daniels from Columbus. Isaac's from Columbus, Xavier's from Columbus, and me and Ferg was from up by Toledo. But so we rocked with that. It was somebody with a dream that, like, my manager Andre Hill at the time, the guy that came in to see me, he had a dream and an idea of how to make it in the industry, and he had no fucking clue what was going on. What happens all the time? Some local guy is like, "Oh, you can sing. I'll be your manager," and has no fucking experience or nothing. But it's part of the the dues you got to pay.
I get it. But hey, shout out to those guys for initially like taking the step. I mean, it's kind of a shameful gig, but I understand what you're saying. But at least they saw the vision.
Yeah,
you know
no, absolutely, man. I can't hate on him, because he went out of his way and spent a lot of time and money and effort on trying to get us to the next level. But it never happened. But it did instill in me the idea of actually working in the studio on a project and really making something for the people, and in the way I look at and go about making songs.
So, but the group was a melodic group, right? And then when did
harmonizing?
Yeah, right. So when did you start rapping?
And a bunch of goons. I had been rapping before that. I had started rapping when I was like 13, but I didn't rap like serious.
Gotcha.
I would rap in the joint too. I mean, in juvie and stuff. Like I was, but my singing skills is what made me really
separated
out.
You from everything else, and I could totally see that. You know, I mean, everybody wants to be a fucking rapper. So with that being said, only a few of us can carry a tune. Comfortably. So if I could, I'd fucking sing. Trust me.
I feel.
But so the group though, you're on the melodic harmonizing group.
Yeah.
How long was that a thing?
I'd say that was a thing for about a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't long, bro. It was short lived, but
it's enough to get you some experience and get you comfortable in studios, et cetera. Maybe putting together a project with other people. I mean, I
we was doing talent shows and stuff and making it shake. So then, after that dissolved and stuff, I was still in the streets.
Yeah.
I've been selling dope since I was like 13.
Shout out selling dope.
Like selling crack.
Hell yeah, shout out selling crack. Crack. Right?
It was
it's okay.
It was crazy because like I'm in Fostoria, I'm selling dope, and I'm getting dubs and stuff on the blocks. Everybody knows the blocks. Crescent and Crocker was where we was getting it, man. Shout out to Troy, rest in peace. But Troy's spot was the spot, and that's when I got my first dub. and I would always build up. I'd start with like a 20 dub and build up until I had a ball, and then I had the quarter. And it was like I could never get past the quarter ounce of dope because I would always, my big heart, the dope fiends wouldn't have money, and I'd feel bad for them, and I'd float them whatever they wanted until their payday, and they would just like disappear on me. You know,
Of course,
and
like,
then I'd be
like
back
dope heads do.
Yeah, I'd be back to square one,
Building the fucking quarter ounce back up.
Yeah,
Back with a dub, build it back up.
Did Biggie Small say something like want credit, forget it. You think a crack head's paying you back?
Very
you
close.
Get it or something?
Yeah, very
like
close.
That. But yeah, it was that's a fact.
Wow. Well, at least you got the facts. You know what I mean? A lot of people just talk that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I mean, I sold dope. Like I sold crack for a while, and until I ended up getting my money up, and then I started selling soft.
Shot soft.
Shout out Soft, man.
Right.
Soft changed my life and put me in the game, and that's not the way to go about it because it put me in prison too.
Yeah.
Eventually, but that was like, I don't know, that was really.
But I bet up till prison you had a great fucking time.
Oh man, it was crazy.
Right?
It
Those people tend to forget. Like prisons,
And I'm not an addict, so
Right.
I'm addicted to money and getting the bag. So I was great at what I did.
Yeah.
I would smoke weed, but I wouldn't, I didn't do coke or anything like that. And I can't say I've never done it. I mean, I've done it. It was not my thing, and I can't stand being around females who are on it because they talk your fucking ear off.
Facts.
It's crazy.
Big facts.
I just don't want to hear it.
That's accurate though. They don't shut the fuck up. It's like you need them around when you do it, but if they're around, you just want them to fucking shut the fuck up. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Never gonna happen. I've never seen a quiet cokehead.
No, doesn't happen. Doesn't work like that. I'd get weird. I'd fucking lock myself alone. What does Theo Vaughn said? He said I'd get weird when I do coke. He said I'd watch a whole family eat dinner. He said I'd go peeping Tom on them motherfuckers, and I'd watch them eat their whole dinner. That's me. I'm that guy. Maybe not watching somebody eat dinner, but I'd still like. I got to a point where I just locked myself away with fucking powder.
Yeah.
But that was younger days. We all live and we learn. But like you said, it's not the road you're portraying. That it's an easy route by no means. Like you said, it ultimately put you in a penitentiary. So obviously, there's not a good end to that story. But it's fun to joke like that because drugs are fun. But yeah, talk about that. So we're rapping, we're in the streets, we're selling dubs, we're giving away quarter ounces of crack. Now we're selling soft. We're stacking cash, probably major cash at this point.
Yeah,
and then ultimately it ends you locked up. You get locked up.
Yeah, I ended up. I did a couple bids after. A couple prison stays after my juvie time, in between my big stretch that I had to end up doing. I did like a couple years in the feds. I did a couple more years in the state, and when I did these couple more years that I did in the state, I got out and was out 4 months, and after doing 2 years and caught 8.5 years. So I might as well have did like 11 years for real. Just not too long ago. My cousin ended up. So when I got out, every time I got out, I was such a solid dude that I'd never have to have money. Everybody knew I'd get to the bag, and I had knew a lot of people. So they were, there was no.
Well, I mean, not to cut you off, but along the way, you made, you kind of joked about having a huge heart and like giving out quarter ounces of dope to crackheads and shit just so they'd hit you back and ultimately they'd run away with your money. So I can only imagine for the people in your life that you cared about along the way, that where that big heart came out and things you would do, etc., that put you in the position to every time you had a stint and you came home, you didn't really have to look for handouts. People were more than willing to help you get back on your feet, etc., or at least keep you comfortable and whatever.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just outside looking in, as I said.
And when you come from that, and as well, when you come from that, like the first thing you're doing, it's not like I want to go get in trouble. I want to come home and get in trouble. It's I need money. I need to live.
Gotta bounce back.
I'm not gonna make enough at any job that they're willing to give me, because for one, they're not willing to give me any jobs anywhere with my felonies, and then the jobs that they are willing to give me, I'm gonna only be able to work for a short amount of time before I beat the fuck out of whoever is trying to manage me, because they let that shit get to their head. So, and I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I haven't
That's
been
good.
the guy
I like the way you straighten that up. That's
works
nice.
up under people. You know what I mean? I have a boss mentality, and I never, like, even then when I had to work at Burger King when I got out of juvie and was on probation,
Had to have a
or
job.
parole, and had to have a job. Like, within 2 weeks, I'm running that spot, even though I don't have a manager badge on. I'm running it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, having that. It was looking like the trap out there, Burger King.
Shout out Burger King.
On Trenton.
Big fan of the Whopper. You know what I mean? I'm a Whopper kind of guy. I like flame broiled burgers. You know what I mean? Shout out Burger King.
None of my people had to pay when they came through that.
Hell yeah. I remember those days too, when all the homies worked at fucking fast food restaurants. We just pulled up. Where y'all want to eat? I don't know. Who's working tonight?
Up like 7 deep in
Hell
a fucking Escort.
What y'all want?
A Ford Escort. And everybody's eating.
Hell yeah. He already said that big heart, get everybody large fries and all that shit. I'm with it.
Yeah.
But the 8-year stint, bro, that's a long time, dude. You know what I mean? That's a long time to unplug for. Even, you know, especially when you talk about 2 years with the feds, 2 years in the state, and then coming home 4 months. I mean, them 2 years, they're not small stretches anyway.
No.
But to you know, to double back or triple back down and end up back in, you know, for 8.5, I can only imagine how that felt, gavel coming down or whatever that scenario played out, or however it played out for you. But that's an extensive stint, Bubba, the 8.5 years of your life.
Yeah, a lot of it was heavy. That last bid really changed the whole way I look at life. It changed me as a man. You know what I mean? It really seeing what it did to my mom and my family. You
got kids?
Like, yeah, I do. And I lost so much time with my kids. Like, I had kids at a young age, you know what I mean? I had my first kid when I was 15.
Oh, wow.
And me and her mother had sex one time, took her virginity, and next thing I know, I got a baby on.
That's all it takes.
And it's like I wasn't mature enough, and growing up without my father, for, you know, I didn't understand the role a father plays, or how to be a dad for real. I thought I buy shit, get her when I can in my free time. And I put a lot of things first that I shouldn't have, but, you know, just being young and dumb, and it happens. So shout out to any dads and stuff that step up, man, and handle that without making the same mistakes I did in the beginning.
I get it.
I'm a great dad now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like at that time I wasn't I didn't know what I was missing.
Yeah, your priorities were backwards. You know what I mean? Perspectives are, you know, growing up in the streets, and then, you know, being in and out of prison and all, you know, selling dope. I mean, you know, you're blinded by other things. You're still chasing money. You know what I'm saying? Having a kid at 15 in the middle of all that, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially 15 and then doing little stints here and there, coming home, start stacking bread and shit again, and then, you know, forgetting the fact, like, oh yeah, I got a kid over here.
Yeah.
But I follow you about buying shit and just thinking what you thought was right at the time may have not been the right then looking back, but I'm sure you're making up for it now.
Oh yeah, I mean, everything's different now. But when I even went to do that 8.5 years, my cousin is the one that snitched on me, my youngest cousin, and he got jammed up. His best friend was a CI at the time, which is confidential informant. And the crazy thing is his cousin didn't even tell on me, or his best friend didn't even tell on me. It was my cousin. My cousin testified to the grand jury that I was a supplier, and the day I got pulled over at the same time he got raided, because I left his house and I had like $4,000 on me, which was little money. I was just going up to Detroit to kick it with my now DJ Throttle. He was hosting a party.
DJ Throttle.
He was hosting a party and I was heading up there, but they pulled me over. I had $4,000 on me, and $2,350 of it was marked bills from sales he had made. And so with that and him testifying to the grand jury, it was enough to convict me. And I had to take it on the chin.
That sucks.
And
to take an 8.5 year stint on the fucking chin, and all you got caught was dirty bills.
Yeah,
that's a little steep.
Yeah, it was.
No drugs. They ain't find you with no drugs.
Not a single drug. Not a single cell.
What?
My whole discovery was his whole case. That was it.
What? That's fucking stupid.
Shout out Jeremiah,
Shout out Jeremiah. Who's that?
my cousin that snitched on me.
Oh, not shout. We can't shout him out. That's not. Are we supposed to? We can't shout him out.
Can shout him out, man.
I guess
He changed my life. Without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
Nah, that's a
And
great
that's
way to
how
look
I
at
look
it.
at it. No,
That's
for
a
real.
good way to look at it.
At the time, I didn't. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for his mother and his sister crying to me to make sure that he made it through his bid without something bad happening to him, he wouldn't have made it. And that's because I have such loyalty in the prison system from some real brothers that I've grown up with. And a lot of the guys are around me now. You know what I mean? Like they, you know, my boy Tez, it's my brother, but he's got his CDLs now. He's doing good. My boy Jamie Kane, he's doing good. Tattoo artist of the year in Toledo and doing his thing. But like my circle, some of the best guys that I've ever known, I've met through prison. You know what I mean? And some of the smartest and the most talented. I met some maggots. I met some people that need to be in prison.
Sure.
But for the most part, man, people just make mistakes, man, and it's kind of shitty how society chooses to take people and just put that scarlet letter on them as instead of a badge of honor for being able to make it through that type of situation, because there is no help,
Right.
unless you help yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
I get it. It's interesting to hear you speak like that. Just because of the fact I've never done 8 years in prison, but if I had, I don't know what mentality I'd go in with, but I know I wouldn't have the same mentality when I came home. No. I'm pretty confident of that. But to hear, like you mentioned, you know, you didn't finish school, but you acquired your GED in prison.
Yeah.
What's some other things you think you achieved in prison? How'd you pass 8? What was big for you for 8.5 years?
Music was the biggest thing for me.
Just writing and
writing. I learned so much. I mastered my craft. You know what I mean?
Pause. Just writing melodic records or rap?
Raps.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
But they would still be melodic. My raps I would always sing my hooks. And then I actually did, like when I was in Allen, I had a rock band. Because I loved, you know, making rock music. And so
hey, you look like a rock star.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I kind of am now. I'm
Talk your shit.
I'm something like a rock star now. It's all come to fruition, but it's all played a part in the music that I make now, and why they want me in these rooms when they're writing records, and why I have, you know, the numbers that I have in my contacts, and the friends that I have, and the family that I have, and the new brothers that I have.
Yeah.
My Slumericans squad is no joke.
Definitely not.
Like, and we're a real family. Like those,
Yeah.
like I just wrote a new song called Family, and it'll be like a only family at the table, and it's talking about, like, you know, Wolf will feed us. Like there will be just randomly, we had been working at the studio, he'll just invite everybody over to his house and have a crab boil. Shout out Aunt Tess. Shout out Willpower, you know, but you know, Tess puts it together, but we'll eat. There'll be 20, 30 of us up in the house, and we eat at the tables, and it's really breaking bread.
Yeah, it's not even like on some business shit. Like
No,
y'all are just there
not
just
at all.
eating as family.
Wolf is a great brother, a great friend, and a mentor, and just such an amazing human being that cares about his friends, man. He just reminds me of myself as far as like my friends. My mom was always like, "You always get in trouble for your friends. Like why? When are you gonna learn to stop sticking up for your friends?" And I'm like, I never learned it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my friends will stick up for me as well. You might not be as tough as me, but my friends will be there side by side when we get in some shit, and have proven it time and time again.
That's what makes them your friends.
Yeah, and I don't really even have friends. I got brothers now, brothers and sisters, and
I love that.
It's family.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't family, then you just somebody I know.
Yeah. No, I totally understand it. It's interesting to hear though the when you speak about yellow individual, like when you like stopped for a minute and you're like, he's just this and he's that, you know, about. I've heard it from so many people, and I know Yella well enough to where he'd recognize me in a room, right? Like he knows what I do. He knows. I'm sure he knows about the show, and I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I have individuals like yourself come and jump on the show. Like I've had plenty of Slumericans artists here, but when I hear y'all speak about Yella, it's interesting to me, like because I see it, and I've, you know, with my affiliation with Jelly or Struggle or all these people, and Bubba Sparks, and like, you know, I know all these guys, and I've been in rooms with Yellow Wolf, and I've heard him speak Not to me, but just like to the room. You know what I mean? And it's different. It's just different. It's a different type of energy. It's one that I appreciate the fuck out of, and I'm appreciate for any opportunity I've ever had to like be in those conversations. But man, I can't wait. I want to sit down with that guy. I really do, because especially when I hear about how he. I mean, you being a new artist to Slumericans just as of recently of May.
Yeah.
And then to hear, and I know you probably had you hung out with him a couple months before the deal, et cetera, like you spoke on, and y'all's relationship was built off authenticity. Just like Edward Crow set you up for. He's like, don't even mention the music out the gate.
Yeah. Let
him learn more about you, and the rest will just come.
Yeah.
But not everybody can fall into those places. It's got to be the right fits for those. Like to your point, Edward Crow not going to just invite anybody for that type of scenario. So for you to find yourself in that situation and to be able to kind of just fall right into place, that's interesting as hell to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's madness. It's like people that don't know me are gonna think this is an overnight. I looked up into a situation.
No, you've been working.
Well, man, I've been.
Yeah, you've been working
my entire life.
Yeah,
man. I was focused on the wrong stuff. I had to get into the right lane.
Yeah.
But being where I'm at, like even Willpower had to remind me. He was like, man, we was working one day, and he was like, man, you know how many people would die to be in your position? Like thousands of people would love to be in your position.
He ain't lying to you.
And he was like, you should be proud of that. And I'm not saying that I wasn't being proud, but I'm so focused on working on music and making this stuff happen that sometimes I wake up like I was living with Wolf. Like I can stay. I got the code to Wolf's crib whenever I want to come. Like I could. It doesn't matter. I don't have to announce anything. He's like, my house is your house, and he meant it, and he means it. And it's like, sometimes I'd wake up and be like, I used to work out to Love Story on the yard like that. I didn't know Wolf personally. I just knew his music and Love Story was my, Pop the Trunk is what got me hip to him. But like that Love Story was my shit. I used to work out to that, and to go to signing my deal with Slumerican on a live feed that they were having a concert night out at East Iris. Like I even said, like, bro, I went from working out to you to signing a deal with you, in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And that to me is there's something bigger than me pulling this together, because I can reach and be respected by people that most people can't be respected by.
I get it.
And my message is pure. My message isn't to glorify my lifestyle that I've had. My message is to let you know that this is what comes from the lifestyle. Not where I'm at now, but prison and death, because there is no retirement in the dope game, bro. You aren't going to live happily ever after. Either something bad happens, God forbid, and you die, or you just become a dope fiend, or you go to prison. Like that's all you got waiting for you when you make that life your lifestyle. There's a very small, very, very tiny percentage of people that get out of that unscathed. And usually they're working with the feds or whoever at some point in order for that to even happen. And that's what the music never told me. That's where I seen my cousins going to prison and stuff, but they never were like, hey, don't do this. They would, they was with the shits, and I was with the shits too. But like now, as I'm older, man, as I'm grown, and as I look back, like I wasted so many years in prison, so many years in the streets, so many years away from my family, and now like tragedy brought me to country. Like the loss of one of my best friends in the whole wide world is what got me even started on this trajectory of doing country records.
Yeah. You said it was a dirty pill.
Yeah. He had a dirty perk, man, and went to sleep and didn't wake up. And he wasn't a drug abuser. He didn't do, from my understanding, he just wanted to go to sleep. He just wanted to relax. He was just going through it. And so I couldn't I couldn't rap about that feeling. What I was feeling in that moment, I couldn't really rap about it. I had to express it in another way, and that's when I wrote Kitchen, which is on my Urban Cowboy album.
I have to tap into that one individually. I ran through the Urban Cowboy album prior to us sitting down today, but I'll need, now that you've mentioned one in particularly from your perspective, I need to go back and listen to that one directly.
I had my son. My son was on the way. My son King my girl was pregnant with my son King.
Shout out King.
Yeah, shout out King, shout out Cashy. But he just turned 5.5. He's 5.5 now. He turned 5 in February. And she was still pregnant with him, and he was close to being born. This happened in January, when my boy died, and I couldn't really speak on it. So I speak on it in that Kitchen record. And after listening to that record, I was like, yo, this is a vibe right here. This is something different. And then I just started making records like Chances and Real Fake. And Real Fake talks about my prison, my cousin telling on me and me going to prison.
Okay.
And Chances. The crazy thing with Chances is, I mean, I don't want to implicate myself in any situations or anything, but there were times when I came home again and I still had to do things certain times
just to bounce back.
To bounce back. And when I wrote Chances, I literally had a trunk full of bows, man, and I was riding down the highway, and I write my music when I'm driving, because I drive a lot, so I listen to instrumentals and I'll like dictate the notes and
sure.
And I wrote Chances. I said, I've been taking chances traveling up and down this road so that we can have a mansion, all our diamonds dancing. Like, I was literally driving 2.5 hours to drop some bows off in a truck full of bows while I'm on parole.
Shot trunks full of bows.
While I'm on parole.
Damn.
Which is
risky business.
Risky business, man, but chances make champions at the end of the day. And I'm not saying like
chances make champions.
It's the truth. You
I like that.
I mean? You got to take that chance, just like you making this podcast. If you didn't step out to do this stuff, man, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Facts. Big facts.
Period. And I know you got a lot of respect and stuff. I see it from, Zilla has the utmost respect for you.
Shout out to my guy.
And he said, man, he doesn't talk about everybody like that. You know what I mean?
That's love, man. I appreciate it. But now we got to name the episode Chances Make Champions, because that's so fire what you just said.
It's the truth, though.
Yeah.
It's what I live by. If I lose it all today, I'm not one to steal from somebody. But I can't say that I wouldn't hit that road if I had to. And that's just the mentality and the honesty that I have with myself, and understanding that I'm going to do whatever it takes to take care of mine, just like so many others out there that do whatever they can, work whatever jobs they can to provide for theirs, man. And I think it's ugly the way that we're taxed by the government.
Of course.
I think it's ugly the way that we're incarcerated in masses and put into private prisons.
Of course.
That the only thing that they want is to fill up beds. They don't want to reform you or rehabilitate you, because that is counterproductive. That is against what they are doing. They got to keep the money coming in.
Got to.
So like that stuff, a lot of things have to change, but we have to change the way we think about things. We can't keep being manipulated by the system.
Yeah. It's a dirty game out here right now, though.
It's super dirty, bro.
I try to stay away from it all, too. And now I'm like getting more and more, like I can't help but get absorbed in some sort of politics nowadays. And that's something that we don't do.
Yeah.
And me personally, I do not do.
Yeah.
Now I have to fucking start getting a little bit involved, because shit's so fucked up now.
Hey, like my thing is, man, we got to make sure that this world is the best world possible for our kids.
That's it.
When we're gone. I don't care what anybody does. I don't care who anybody loves, man. It's all your business is your business.
Totally
man.
fine.
Do what you do, but man, we gotta look out for our kids.
That's
man.
it.
And just make sure that everything's gonna be okay for them when we're gone, man.
I totally fucking agree with that. Shit. That's
why I do what I do. At the end of the day, I'm not making this music or trying to make money and all this stuff for me. It's to leave a legacy and to leave something for my children, so that they don't ever have to go through what I had to go through,
of course,
or make those decisions.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough to have the ability to make music, to make the music that I make, to be able to like do it on a massive stage, or to even
massive fucking stage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've seen you shake it here lately, bro.
Yeah.
I was going through your Instagram. I was like, God damn, were you at Sturgis?
Yeah, we killed Sturgis on the last night.
Shout out Sturgis.
Me, Wolf, and Cowboy Killer.
Shout out Cowboy Killer.
Yeah, we murdered it, man. Shout out Sturgis, though.
Yeah, shout out Sturgis. That was a nice look though for you, Bubba. I seen it. I seen a shot of you, bro. I think it was just a still photo of you at Sturgis, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's okay on stage. He obviously can hold his own.
It's happening. Like it's really like, so my first show with Wolf on stage was Reno, and we did the Sierra Casino in Reno, and I was like, I know my music's good because it's from my heart. It's my life, and I know so many people live the same life as me, but they just live it in different ways. And so my philosophy has always been like, as long as I put my truth in my music, there will be people to relate to it. And I can't even lie though, it was the first time I was gonna be up in front of some American crowd, like the real Wolf fans.
Yeah.
And Wolf, he
ain't announcing too many motherfuckers out on that stage,
bruh. And he's, and they ain't going for just whatever either. They ain't fucking playing. If they don't like you, you gonna know it. And the love that they gave me in Reno and showed me, and just like, once I felt that, it was over with. I knew
it's a good fit.
I knew
it's
that
just
I'm
a good fit, bro. Like your shit sprinkled into that type of the culture is just, it's a perfect fucking fit. It makes so much sense. Same with Cowboy. Same with Cowboy Killer.
That's my dog.
Shout out to him. He was here recently.
I just sent him a record. We're them Ohio boys though. He from the south from Ohio. I'm from the north from Ohio.
Oh, that is right. He is from Ohio.
That's my brother, man.
Yeah, he's a good kid,
shout
man.
out to Doobie and Highlight too, man.
Shout out to Doobie and Highlight.
Ohio boys right there. That's my brothers
that's
too,
family
man.
too.
We've been rocking crazy. Me and Doobie got a crazy record. We just shot the video too.
That kid's a superstar.
Yeah. Oh, wait till you hear his new music.
Yeah.
He is a rock star.
Highlight, send me some records.
Bro, you see Highlight out there with Jelly, bro?
I do.
Doing the damn thing.
That's a good story right there. I'm glad that Jelly brung Highlight out for this tour. I fuck with DJ Chill so tough.
So real.
And I fuck with Highlight so tough. But when Jelly announced that Highlight was also coming out on tour this year, I was really excited to see that. I'm gonna go see Jelly in October. I'm gonna go to Atlanta and see him. But
yeah, well, they're gonna be in LA with us. Like, we got a show in LA on the 5th. And I was just talking to Highlight yesterday, and he was like, man, he's gonna pull up.
Shout out Highlight. I love that guy. He gave me those pillows you're leaning on.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
Yeah. And shout out to those pillows. Shout out holycenter.com. Go get your merch. But at the same time, Highlight gave us those pillows, bro, when they were still exclusive. Like now they're a thing. I think they're available now, but he gave them to us early on when we were at our old set.
Hey, man, they're geared. Slumerican, the Holy Highlight. I need some Holy Center gear, man.
Right. I needed a new care package of Holy Center.
I'm Slumericaned out. I stay with my Slumerican.
I need some of that gear. That's what I need from Mount Zilla next. I'm going to tell Mount Zilla, Mr. Edward Crow, that I need me a Slumerican care package. So
Bro,
I can just
you go to Slumerican.com and you'll see me all over that mug. I'm like, bro, I love the fit.
Oh, you've been modeling the shit.
Oh yeah, I'm modeling.
Talk your shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to be with the duck lips.
Talk your shit, yeah, man. Give him that look. Jay, give him that look,
bro.
There you go.
You ain't never gonna catch me with no fucking duck lips, man. You dudes that's making duck lips look ridiculous, man. Stop that shit, man. Leave that to the ladies.
Hey,
man.
but hey, shout out Wolf.
Yeah.
Shout out Slum American brand because I mean, in reality, aside from being a current rock star under the Slum American brand, you're also like a published model.
Oh yeah.
Like, think about that. Like that, it may sound a little funny, but it goes on the resume.
He's an actor, artist to the fullest, and got everything together. But yeah, man, like Wolf, it doesn't happen that people in his position will put people like me in a position to become great. And he does it. He does it genuinely. He does it. He's very specific though. He ain't just fucking with anybody. It has to be something special. So that's why I'm so honored that he, sees my vision. And he always tells me too, like, if I think a record isn't something and I say something, he was like, if you feel it is, bro, you can speak up on it. You're gonna have to stand on that record though. Like, it's gonna be on you if it flops. But I'm telling you what I see ahead of time, and you know, between him and Zilla, man, Edward Crow, like, their advice is always spot on.
And if you listen, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, no, for
Like,
real,
that's
bro.
it right there. I mean, it's proven to work time and time again.
Literally every single thing that Ounce has advised me on has been exactly right every time.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
that's
like dude got a crystal ball for real.
he really does. He
real.
really fucking does.
No, like he seriously might.
But he probably does, to be honest. But it's really interesting to me, Jay. Like, honestly, bro, because like I admittedly said out the gate on this episode, like, this has been a really dope sit down for me.
Hell yeah.
One, because I didn't know you. You know what I mean? And it's so rare when I sit here as Squint 615 on I Got Some Shit to Say the podcast, and I sit with a guest or an individual that I haven't either met at a show, seen perform, had to meet through a similar acquaintance or something. There's always something to where it's like, hey, man, we need to link up and you get on the pod. Something verbally or something direct. But this happened so fast. It's like we both went into it blind a little bit. And I didn't know really what to expect from J. Michael Phillips as a human. I knew a lot about you just from your current catalog and what I can find of you online. But to sit here with you now, bro, for the past hour and just to hear, I can totally understand you have great energy, my friend, and for Wolf to see that and to bring you in, or for Edward Crow initially to see your talent and get you into that circle, and then introduce you to all these people, and it puts you in these current scenarios. I can totally understand why these things are happening for you, because sitting here with you today, bro, it's just been a genuine conversation. We've just got to know each other a little bit, but it's good energy. There's no like awkwardness. There's no like. I sit here with people, bro, and shit gets fucking awkward. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I can't say too much, or I say I have to continuously talk, or whatever the fact. But it's almost like we sat here and just had this conversation. The camera ain't even been on. You know what I mean? And that's the type of episodes we really look for when I get a chance to sit with an artist that I'm kind of unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Like I said, admittedly, I was so aware with your catalog, but I'm anxious to see what's next. So before I get you out of here, tell me that. What's next for J. Michael Phillips, bro?
So as of just recently, I don't even know if I'm supposed to speak on it or not.
No, you can. I won't tell on you.
But I am. So me and Wolf are doing a joint album together. We just had a show in Wisconsin, Danbury, Wisconsin. Shout out to Danbury. They turned up and showed out. But after, Wolf got off stage and we was in our trailers in the back, Wolf, he pulled me to the side and he was like, bro, we need to do that double out, that joint album together and make it a priority.
That's a good look.
He said it's good for both of us.
It really is.
And I said, man, like, I just wanted to hug him so tight and say thank you so much, man, because it's coming from a genuine place, man.
Yeah.
I can't even believe how fortunate I am, and God is good, and my mother's prayers have been answered as far as that comes, because to be able to go from and I'm gonna try to do it without getting emotional, but to be able to go from her crying every time I'm getting sentenced or every time she's leaving from the visiting to her crying because I'm signing with Slumerican and that I'm telling her that me and Wolf got a joint album that we're about to drop. Like, those are the kind of tears that I'm lucky to have lived long enough to see, or lucky that she's lived long enough to have for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Her and my dad, they got back together a few years back, and my dad doesn't drink or anything anymore, which was one of the problems of why they split up, and they're both Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're living a very good, structured life. A good life, but they're not like, they're not judgmental or nothing crazy, man. They're my biggest fans, and they're just happy for me. But I got the record, I got the double album with Wolf coming out. I think we're calling it Whiskey and Roses. Not for sure. Don't quote me.
I like that though.
But we got some really dope records on that. Me and Wolf got Wolf and Struggle got a record called Yeah Yeah Yeah, produced by Tasty.
Shout out
Tasty.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
shout out Struggle Jennings.
That's a crazy. Oh yeah, Struggle, man. Struggle, like, everybody told me, man, when you and Struggle get around each other, y'all gonna be heavy. And
that makes sense.
He invited me over one day to watch the fight a couple months back, to watch the UFC fight. Invited me over to his house out of nowhere. Shout out Pam. Pam was over there.
Okay.
And linked up me and Struggle, but
talking about Pamela Butts.
Yes.
Shout out Miss Pamela.
I love Pam. That's my sister. I love her. I catch a body over her, man. Like that's my ace.
Good people.
A1. Felons. Shout out to my felons. But yeah, so I went over there and linked with Struggle, and ever since he's been 100 with me, and we talk like, you know, every other day or whatever. And
Struggle solid, man.
And no, his heart. I mean, him and Wolf, like it's the same. I haven't met Jelly yet to meet Jelly.
That'll happen.
You know that. Yeah, no, of course. That's gonna happen. He's the homie. Amongst his family, Slumerican. So but yeah, we got those records coming. I got a record with Doobie called Faded. That's crazy.
I'm anxious to hear
It's
that.
by Tasty. We just shot the video.
I'm anxious to hear it all, but the collaboration with Doobie, that's an interesting one to me.
Oh yeah,
I'm anxious to hear that.
Yeah, my son's mom, like her, that was on repeat with her.
Okay, well that's good.
Made it. She's like, that's one of my favorite songs ever.
That's good. Yeah, my daughter is a huge Doobie fan.
Yeah,
she's 18.
I cannot say enough, bro. The new direction that he's going though with this new rock shit, the shit that
he's a rock star.
It's insane, bro. Like he's out of here. He
is
out of here.
He's special though, bro. Like he is a creative genius. He really is. Like the fact that kid and bro, if anybody ever knew like the early affiliation Jelly had with Highlight, the early shit, Doobie was right there. Like he was right fucking there. They told me 15 years ago Doobie was next. Yeah. And I've watched that whole story. And then when was it they came through? It was probably like about a year ago or so they pulled up for the pod.
Yeah.
And that was they were out of here. They didn't have to pull up, but they did. And it just prolonged the conversation to enough that it's like they're just real as fuck. They fucked with me for so long, and they still fuck with me to this day. Shout out Highlight, shout out Doobie. I'm so proud of them guys, man.
At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
It is what
just
it's
being
about.
real, man.
That's
because
it.
if you're not being 100, real motherfuckers gonna see through it. That's why they say real recognize real.
Facts.
That's why me and you is sitting here not even having to try to talk. It's just happening.
Yeah.
It's two real motherfuckers sitting there talking. The circle that I have right now, it's just real motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
And if you're not real, people a lot of time tells the truth, man. You will be exposed over time and you will be ousted. And you will not be in the circle. If you are in the circle though, you 100. And to me, that's just a massive thing. Anybody that was in the joint with me will tell you that I stand on my word. I'm a man of my word, because that's one thing I learned to be more than anything is when they take everything from you, all you have is your word. And if your word ain't good, then you ain't shit.
Right. I don't doubt you at all.
No, that's real shit, brother. I appreciate it. The fact
Shout out
that you
to
have me
Michael
on here.
Phillips, bro. Hey, bro. I mean, currently though, before I say my little call out thing, if they're unfamiliar, Urban Cowboy available now.
Yeah.
But if they're unfamiliar as far as what's available right now, if they've never heard J. Michael Phillips, tell them where to start. You get one shot. Tell them what record you want them to hear right now if they're unfamiliar.
Oh, you got to hear Chances.
Okay, cool. Because that's important. Like when because there's a lot of consumers that watch or tune in or listen or watch or whatever the case may be, that if they're unfamiliar, if we do have an unfamiliar face or one that they're not immediately aware of, that's important. Like me, I know watching a podcast, if I hear an artist steer, like, look, I get one shot. You don't know shit about me.
Yeah.
I want you to listen to this song first. That song means something to me. Like, that's where I'm going to fucking go.
Yeah.
But to leave that up to you to say that, check out Chances, available now. And that's part of the Urban Cowboy record, correct?
Yes, it's the first song on the Urban Cowboy record.
Yeah. I'll go back and have to listen. Like I said, I skimmed through it immediately. I probably listened to about a minute 15, minute 20 of each record just to get through it and get structure of records. But now that you've given me a few individual titles, that you gave me 3 actually. You gave me Chances,
Diamond Ring.
Well, I'm familiar with that one. And then
A Lot of God.
a lot. No. That's on Urban Cowboy. You told me 3. You said
Chances, Diamond Ring, and Real Fake.
Real Fake.
Real Fake was about my cousin. Yeah.
Facts. Okay, that's it. Yeah, but those 3 I want to go back and listen to individually, because those are 3 that you said are pretty content driven. Like there's reasons for those records.
Yeah.
But J. Michael Phillips, bro, it's been great. It's been a fucking pleasure. But I tell each and every one of our guests, bro, I got some shit to say. Is the flagship for this fucking city. I don't care what anybody says.
But anytime you got some shit to say, Bubba, that seat's yours. Like, this is just the introductory episode. You are now part of the alum. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it goes, bro. But anytime you got a major drop coming through or you got some shit to say, this is the place to come do it. Just hit my DM, hit my line. You got my number now. Yeah. Just fucking pull up on me, bro, and we'll do it again. We'll talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
Let's fucking go.
You know what I'm saying? But I rock with you, bro. I really do. It's been a pleasure to sit here and learn a little bit more about you, bro. But I'm so excited for you, bro, and I'm anxious to see where this journey takes you, my friend.
Hell yeah.
Just keep your ass out of trouble.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Shout out Slumerican, man.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Edward fucking Crow. I'll say it every fucking day until I'm
Big
dead
gang,
in dirt.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, shout out happy belated birthday to Edward Crow. I was looking through my phone trying to find a specific picture, Edward, and I couldn't find it. And then I fucking got distracted and I didn't post it. But I'll text it to you later. Shout out Edward Crow. But shout out to my guy J. Michael Phillips. Urban Cowboy, available now. Chances make champions, motherfuckers.
Yes, sir.
Right? We out of here. It's IGSSTS.com. ChatOnTV.com.
Bitch, we got views.